Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements, proven by time, engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
A good Friday afternoon, Taylor Platt here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Of course, our main focus will be our strong and severe storm risk coming in late Saturday into early Sunday. I'll break that down here very shortly. Our other focus will be the cold front that's going to be associated with that system. That's going to bring us some true fall weather for once coming into the Tennessee Valley starting off next week. And hey, it actually looks like it might stick around for a little bit. So let's go right into your forecast. First off, take a live look. Looked like we had a bird that actually flew right across the screen as I turned to the Arctic Air Skycam network. Take a look at Lawrenceburg right now. Temperature 74 degrees. You notice that cloud cover continuing to build in from the west. So while we aren't dealing with abundant sunshine like what we've been seeing over the past several days, at least it will still be dry today. We're just going to be dealing with cloud cover moving on through. It is feeling dry. 51 degrees is the dew point right now. Got a south wind at 7 miles per hour. Shouldn't be too breezy today, but that will start to change once we get into the day tomorrow. Checking in at Florence on the campus of the University of North Alabama. Continue to see those clouds, and I know it looks darker than the way it is, but trust me, it's still pretty bright outside. 76 degrees down there in Florence and Muscle Shoals. Dew point at 58. Got an east-southeast wind at 6 miles per hour. Last check will be Huntsville on top of Montesano Mountain. As actually, it looks like the camera's been tilted up a little bit. Yesterday, I checked in on this camera, starting to see a little bit of that fall-like coloring to some of the trees up there in northeastern Alabama. Right now in Huntsville, 71 degrees. Dew point at 57 degrees. Taking a look at our live Viper radar network, once again showing absolutely nothing across the area. That will change though once we get into late Saturday and into early Sunday, as it will track those strong and maybe even severe thunderstorms moving on through. Here is kind of a backed out view. We do have that high pressure that I've been talking about earlier on this week as it continues to slide down to the south ahead of our system. That's going to kick our winds into a southerly direction. That's going to be bringing more moist air coming in from the Gulf. So while we are dry today, that moisture continues to increase, and that will keep the fuel in, or at least get some of that fuel up in here for those severe storms possible tomorrow. Current temperatures right now starting to approach that 80-degree mark at 79 in Lewisburg, 78 at the Huntsville Airport. It is in the 80s. It's 81 degrees in Decatur right now, 78 in the Shoals, and 78 degrees down there in Moulton. Everybody today generally getting up into the lower middle 80s once again, with just those passing clouds expected. Once we get to the evening hours, we'll start to see our temperatures drop back down into the 70s and eventually down to the 60s tonight. But for the forecast for this afternoon, 83 in Fayetteville and Lewisburg, 82 here in Lawrenceburg, 84 in the Huntsville metro area, 83 in Hazel Green and Meridianville, and 86 degrees over there in the Shoals. If you're heading to dinner this evening or maybe catching one of those high school football games, be good to go weather-wise. Passing clouds continuing. Temperatures dropping down to around 69 degrees by 8 p.m., so really no need for that light jacket on hand this evening. Now, if you are out late this evening, that might change because by that point, we're talking about some of the lower 60s across the area. Should be in the low to mid 60s across northern Alabama. We start to clear on out to an extent later on during the overnight hours, but then that changes. Once again today, we'll have some increasing clouds for your Saturday. Daytime highs in the lower and middle 80s once again, 85 in the Shoals, 84 in Columbia, 85 in Huntsville, 82 degrees in Lawrenceburg. All right, let's break down that strong and severe storm risk with Futurecast. We're going to start off this afternoon. You're just going to be seeing those clouds starting to build on in across the area. Notice some of those showers off to the north. I really don't think we're dealing with much of the way of rain chances today. I think everybody's absolutely dry. Let's fast forward to your Saturday morning, starting off the morning with some cloud cover. Those winds continue to pump in that moisture from the south, and they will end up becoming breezy during the day. As you see over there towards the left side of the screen, south-southwest winds at 14 miles per hour at 2 o'clock on Saturday. Those could be gusting around 20, maybe 30 miles per hour at times. Now, during the day, As that moisture increases, we could start to see some isolated showers develop. I don't anticipate these being thunder showers or thunderstorms. I think they're just some light showers that are going to start to develop. Cloud cover continues to increase. Once we get into your 7 p.m. hour, starting to watch some showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm develop. I don't think these would end up being severe. I think our severe weather risk does wait until we get the line of storms that moves on through. So if you have any of those evening plans, I know big ball game this weekend, Tennessee and Alabama. If you're going to watch the game somewhere, either at a restaurant or a bar or maybe a friend's house or family, you are good to go. I would keep that umbrella handy just in case, but I don't think we're dealing with severe weather as we have game time and even after the game until we get into the late evening and early overnight hours. So here we go. Midnight, 1 a.m., I think is kind of a rough window. I would even say maybe 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. is a good kind of window for these storms to eventually move in from the west and cross the state line here in Mississippi and Alabama. Any of this along the line could be strong, maybe severe with some damaging winds around maybe 60 miles per hour. I think a lot of it ends up being below 60 miles per hour, but there is enough low-level wind shear that there could be an isolated brief spin-up tornado possible. That's something we'll just have to keep a close eye on. As this line progresses to the east, it should gradually start to weaken because as it moves further east, you're going to be losing the unstable air that is in place. The further west you go, the more unstable. The further east you go, the less unstable, especially with it being during the overnight hours at 3 a.m. We're watching that line potentially moving through the I-65 corridor, still holding on to a very low end chance for a strong or severe storm at this point. Once it moves further east of Interstate 65, I really do think we lose that severe weather risk across the area. It should be very, very minimal at this point. And by 5 a.m., I think all of this is at least east of Lincoln County, Madison County. So the Huntsville, Fayetteville areas, I think that's east by that point, and our severe weather risk will be ending at this time. Now, behind it, there still could be some shower activity, and there will be some cloud cover lingering during the morning hours. So 9 a.m., if you're going off to your church service on Sunday morning, you might have some drizzle to work with, some light shower activity, and some cloud cover. Temperatures will generally be in the 60s. Now, the good thing is this is when our fall-like weather really starts to settle in, because look at what happens once you get the afternoon. Crystal clear skies start to move on through. I think these are a little too cool for 5 p.m., but I do anticipate us staying in the 60s all day for your Sunday. So once we get that round of showers and storms moving on through, the afternoon hours on Sunday look absolutely fantastic with sunshine popping out and temperatures still in the 60s. It really will feel like fall out there for your Sunday. And it will even feel like fall for your Monday morning, because we could be talking about lows down into the upper 30s and lower 40s across parts of the area. All right, here is the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. This does go in line. What we've been kind of thinking about is the further east you go, the less of the way you will be dealing with some severe weather potential. So level 2 out of 5 for areas near Columbia down to Homewald, Waynesboro, Savannah, Iuka, over there towards Waterloo as well. The better chance still will typically be further to the west, but by the time the storms roll in here, they should start to weaken to an extent, and that's why beyond that, you have that level 1 out of 5, that marginal risk for the rest of our area. Our main concern will end up being the strong damaging wind potential, but like I mentioned, there is enough low-level wind shear that a brief tornado cannot be ruled out within that line, so that's something we'll have to keep a close eye on. Hail, flooding, I really don't think we're dealing with much of the way of that. I'll step off the screen because, like what we talked about for the majority of the week, we are getting into our fall severe weather season, so that means you need to be prepared. I know we're not dealing with a major severe weather outbreak with this system moving on in, but it's just one of those signs that, hey, we are starting to change seasons and we are getting into our fall severe weather and tornado season. So have multiple ways to get warnings. You can download our Tennessee Valley Weather app. You can scan the QR code there to download. That app will alert you based on your location for any severe thunderstorm, tornado warnings, flash flood warnings. It will even alert you when lightning's detected within your area. So that will give you a way to get warnings there. And of course, we emphasize, please get a NOAA weather radio. If you don't have one, you can go to one of your stores. Walmart has them. Academy Sports has them. You can get them and you can program them. Pretty easy to do. And you can they'll alert you based on your general location in your county. And that will be your best line of defense, because I can tell you one thing, it is very loud. So that means if you're asleep, and you get a tornado warning for your area, it will wake you up in a heartbeat and you'll be good to go. Here's your 7-day forecast. Behind that system, like I mentioned, we're dealing with some fantastic fall-like weather. 42 Monday morning. I really do think there will be some spots across southern Tennessee that will be in the upper 30s. Fantastic day on Monday, abundant sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Isolated showers possible Tuesday, Thursday. I really think that the way the models are trending, we're going to be pretty dry those days. So fantastic fall-like weather can really be expected for the majority of next week. Lows behind another front on Tuesday. We'll be back down into the upper 30s and lower 40s once again, and highs probably staying in the 60s for your Wednesday. So fantastic fall-like weather coming up for those fall weather fans. That's your latest forecast here from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Fred Gossage will be in at 5 p.m. to have another update on that storm risk over the weekend, and he'll have another update on your 7-day forecast. Until then, I hope everybody has a fantastic Friday afternoon. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys back here on Monday.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.